Welcome to the Multicast, everybody. Humble host, Titanium Basher here. With me today, my co-host of BiasBear.com, Corey Bear, what's up?
Hello.
The landlord. How's your weekend going?
Fucking terrible.
As usual, right on target.
Yeah.
Also with us today, our very special guest from the game Collateral, Josh. What's up, Josh?
Not much, mate.
Tell me about Collateral. Like this, I saw your game on NDDB. Vehicle combat is just right down my alley. I think Twisted Metal is one of my favorite games of all time, along with freaking Vigilante 8, all those great games. So, tell me about Collateral.
Well, Collateral's an open-world vehicle combat game set in a futuristic cyberpunk city. We've drawn a lot of inspirations from Blade Runner and Fifth Element movies. Yeah, they're some of our favorites. Basically you drive around this city. The main objective of the game is to get out of the city. The city's kind of gone to shit over the past few years. And
it looks like it.
Out. I think everything in the future goes to shit. That's like one of those things.
Oh, definitely. But what's happened is the big corporations have moved in and they've sort of closed off areas of the city and locked it down. And you've got to side with one of the factions, or many of the factions, and earn favor with them to get passcodes to unlock new areas and eventually escape.
So this whole thing is a big escape quest. Like, who do you play as?
You play as Zach Edgewater, which is a bit of a nod to the original Quarantine game, which this was greatly inspired by.
Oh, Quarantine, that's a throwback.
Yeah,
that's like
That was one of my favorite games when I was a kid.
3?
Yeah, 93, 94, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that was a great standout car combat game at the time anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a Doom clone, and yeah, we managed to get copies of it and had a good look at it for this, and oh god, it's horrible to play by today's standards, but back in the day it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to go back to that. I don't think it's going to hold up too well. I remember playing it and it being pretty fucking awesome. I expect now it's gonna date a little bit.
Just a tad, yeah.
So how did you get, it's hard enough to get just vehicle combat down. How did you get it down to where the controls work for this up and down and left and right combat game? Because you're flying cars, you're not just regular cars.
Yeah, well, we spent a long time getting that set up. That probably took us the better part of 8 months, maybe, getting the player controls to the point where we were happy with them. And we keep tweaking them. But the main thing we went for is what's something everyone's gonna like and enjoy, and they're gonna already know. So we sort of tried to base it on first-person shooters. However, for those of you who don't like first-person shooters, the controls will be completely mappable, so you can set up however you want. But yeah, by default, we've set them up for, shift goes up, space goes down.
Yeah, that seemed to work perfectly for me. Like, as soon as I got the up and down aspect of it, because you don't usually do that when you're driving. So once you get the flying up and down aspect of it down, it's like, oh, this is pretty simple. Like, I was drifting corners almost like within the first minute or so. So like it's definitely an intuitive gameplay design. So the plot of the story where you're trying to leave the city, can you talk more about that? Like who are these factions we need to side with?
Well, at the moment there's 8 factions in the game. There may be more depending on how much time we get. Those factions are Big Larry and JRC. They're 2 fast food franchises who play against each other. There's Nor Industries and the League of Extraordinary Super Transients. They're sort of evil mind control corporation versus hobos.
Wait, say what?
Hobos will win. Go Hobos.
Yeah, the game isn't serious. It's meant to be a bit of fun,
you clearly said something like we're supposed to just accept this. So you have mind-controlled people fighting hobos?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Well, the whole story there is Nor wanted to set up a new main office, and in the process of doing that, they destroyed the hobos' homes, and so now all the hobos are going out to get Nor, and Nor's trying to fend them off, and yeah.
That sounds like fucking fun. Okay.
There's also the Clown Union and the...
Corey, that's for you.
I can't remember.
No, I fucking hate clowns. Clowns are fucking creepy, man.
That's why it's for you.
I can't remember what we call them, but there's also a strippers union, which they're against each other as well.
Wait, clowns were strippers?
Yeah, pretty much.
What? You think they get along?
No.
Well, we haven't fully decided on the story there, but we're thinking it's something along the lines like the clowns brought up all the makeup and the strippers are angry, and something like that.
That's awesome.
And then there's the two biggest factions, which is Cthulhu Corp and Octopi. They sort of represent the religion versus science dichotomy. So you've got Cthulhu Corp, which is all about the black arts and black magic and stuff, and mutating humans through that way. And then you've got Octopi, which is all about science, and they use genetics, and they also use biomechanics and implants and stuff to make people more than people.
Okay, all right. Well, when you're choosing factions, is this a one-time deal, or will you be able to betray and side with more than one faction at a time?
You'll be able to betray and side with more than one faction at a time. However, there will be a point, like each faction has its rival, and at one point you'll have to decide with either them or their rival to continue on. And the main reason you side with them too is they give you access to specific weapons and tech that's only available through that faction.
Oh, so it even benefits your combat experience. So what kind of weapons do a stripper gets that a clown doesn't?
The clown has the... I'm just trying to remember what we gave them. We gave them a few cool weapons.
By the way, I have a ridiculous image of Sweet Tooth as a stripper in my head right now, which is unnecessary.
Definitely. There's a few different weapons. Like one of the ones that I like the most is for the League of Extraordinary Super Transients. They get Dead Tooth Doug, which is basically a hobo who's strapped to the top of your cab in an office chair with a shotgun.
I'm in. That's the best weapon ever.
He shoots people, and yeah. Well, they're hobos. They're not going to have huge technology, so they give you a hobo.
They sit on top of a flying car.
Yeah. And I mean, JRC, they're a chicken franchise, so they've got like laser-guided chicken rockets.
Oh, that's so love laser chicken rockets. What is better than a chicken with a rocket?
No, that's one thing I've always known about you. You love laser chicken rockets.
I know.
Since day one.
This game's right up your alley then, because we got little chickens with jetpacks, and they home in on what you're pointing your laser at. So you'll be able to do a few missions for both factions, and then there'll be a point where you're probably going to piss the clowns off too much, but they'll never want to talk to you again.
I love pissing off clowns.
Yeah. This seems like a hard choice for you, Corey, because I mean, on the one hand, you hate clowns, but you also hate glitter.
I do, and strippers are like the epitome of glitter.
So where do you go?
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to play the game and find out. I also like fast food and chickens, so.
Yeah, I think we're both going chickens.
I know.
Although I like the idea of hobos on top of my car.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sounds ridiculous.
Well, that's it. We wanted to give the player plenty of choice, so.
So how do you come up with these ridiculous ideas? Like, at what point did you say, well, this game is going to be just chock full of abnormal, crazy crap?
Well, some of it was inspired by quarantine. Like, I remember playing that game, and every now and again you'd pick up this guy, and he was this large, cross-dressing woman clown thing, and he'd start talking to you about something in the back of the cab, and you sort of sit, if you paid attention to it, you're like, that makes absolutely no sense. But other parts of it came from the group we've got. We've got a really good group when it comes to comical stuff. And yeah, like, there's not a day in the office where someone's not telling a joke that gets somebody rolling around on the floor laughing. That's
a good environment to have making games.
Oh, definitely. It helps with the stressful times.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think a lot of games, especially the larger budget ones, take themselves a little too seriously. Like, everything's really dark and serious and broody, and now we got some stuff that counterbalances that, where it's basically laser-guided chickens, so just how that destroys the car, like, I can't wait to find out.
Well, another thing, like, I really enjoyed playing the old Sierra Quest games and stuff like that, and they always had really ridiculous things like killer android by throwing a banana up her exhaust pipe or something like that. And yeah, it's too many games nowadays. Like, I don't mind playing a lot of the shooters and stuff out there, but they just don't have that comical sense to them
I don't
anymore.
know. I guess because I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 2, the game makes me giggle. So that's I'm just gonna throw that in the comical thing.
I'm glad they actually made the latest DLC all about her.
Oh yeah, I just finished that. Yeah. I just finished that, and I think it tied up.
I actually haven't even started it.
It tied up. Okay, then I won't tell you, but it does tie up everything. I think it's a really great DLC.
Oh, you're not going to spoil another game for the guests?
You know what? Go fuck yourself.
Because you do that all the time. Like, every single time.
Well, no. Well, at least he was like, I haven't played it yet, right when I was saying it, so he gave me
Well, how about you just not spoil games?
I don't mean this. I just get really excited sometimes.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, apologies, y'all. So last time she was on the show, she decided to ruin the end of Fallout 3 for our guests.
Fallout New Vegas, and I thought that it was a given. Thought it was a given.
It's not a given. It is not a given. It's anything but a given. You know what? But whatever.
There's no need for apologies. Nothing was ruined. It's all good.
Yay.
I want an apology.
Okay. Good luck getting that.